This podcast is part of the Loosely Connected Network. Visit www.thelooselyconnected.com for more great podcast networks, Twitch streams, YouTube channels, and more.
Loot Crate. Loot Crate. Quack, do you know what Loot Crate is?
No, Tony, what's that?
Loot Crate is a box of goodies that you can get every single month. I mean, you have to pay for it, but you get it every single month when you subscribe to it. And it has like a theme of the month, and it sends you random goodies that are with that theme. So you've seen the Loot Crates I've had, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, pretty cool collector stuff. So
it is.
Let's see. So for the listeners, if you guys want to get your own Loot Crate, you guys can use the NTFTT pod as your promo code to get 10% off.
Wait, do you know next month's or the upcoming month's theme? What's that gonna be like?
I'm actually trying to find out on the website right now.
Oh, okay.
I was like, where is this? Loot Crate is awesome, but their website is a little hard to navigate. Where is it? Items every month.
It comes in every beginning of the month, right?
Yeah. Okay, this month is a Star Wars month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Pass.
What? Why did you pass? It's December. It's when Star Wars gets released.
I know. But I don't think I ever got into Star Wars enough to be like, oh, wow, it's Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have all the like the little toys, like the lightsabers and stuff, and some T-shirts. But people are gonna hate me for this, but I never sat through like an entire movie of Star Wars.
Do you see more than one?
I've seen like enough where I can piece the movie together. Mm-hmm. I think the only ones I really sat through were the prequels that were terrible. Mm-hmm. And because they were terrible, it just turned me off from actually sitting through other ones, even though I know they're supposed to be better.
Prequels as in like episode 1?
Yeah, episode 1, 2, and 3.
Mm.
Yeah. You remember those scenes?
Well, yeah. We're gonna lose a lot of listeners because they're gonna now know that we don't like Star Wars, or not like, but we're not big fans of Star Wars.
Hey, I know a lot about Star Wars, and
yeah,
I actually
I said
no. I read the books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I like the whole universe, but I never actually sat down. And actually, the next movie, I'm probably gonna watch a marathon for the next.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah. But anyway, Loot Crate. Loot Crate. Yes, NTFTT pod for Loot Crate, and you'll get 10% off. All right,
cool.
On with the show.
I love the Power Club.
Come with me if you want to live.
I love the Power Club.
No time for time travel.
Welcome to the No Time for Time Travel podcast, where we are a podcast for nerds by nerds. My name is Tony, and joining me this week is my good friend Quack from Canada.
Hello.
Yes. We are a podcast where you choose a topic for us to discuss as the topic of the episode. And this week we actually have 2 suggestions. The first one comes from Judge Greg. He's the host of the Real Hero Talk podcast and managing editor of the Enthusiasts Network. And he is also co-host of the Gamers Without Borders podcast with Nick. He suggests that we talk about season passes, and I'm assuming he means season passes for video games and not like sports or anything. The second topic is the one that kind of ties into the first one. It's requested by the Monster Closet podcast, and they suggest we talk about video games as a service versus like bespoke content. But but first, how are you doing?
I'm good. Sorry we're starting so late, man, because I was actually planning some stuff out with my D&D group. My friend wanted to make his own tabletop game, and then he was just getting some feedback and everything and setting up a game.
Oh, cool.
This weekend. So we were just chatting online, and it was getting late. And I'm like, we need to talk before you go to sleep, and I need sleep too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sleep is kind of needed.
It's overrated.
Overrated or underrated?
It's both. To some, it's underrated, but to everyone else, it's overrated.
Yeah, but it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so the D&D thing, like he's making his own like theme, like because when you run games,
well, it's more like he's making a tabletop game. So tabletop is, if you're not familiar with it, it's similar to playing pretend, where the person is there's no board or anything. There's no actual cards or anything. Where you just talk it out. Where it's just all dialogue driven and story driven, saying, you enter this cave and there's writings on the wall, and then you're a character that you're like a explorer down here to search for this mythical weapon, and you of course you create your own personality, how you want to play that character, like act it out. And then you just talk through it and say, "Oh, what do you want to do? Do you want to?" And you could just say like, "I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna go home." And then like, "Okay, well," as you walked out, the cave started caving in. And now you're kind of trapped, so you're kind of forced to go through with it. What do you want to do now? So essentially you're just the DM, the dungeon master. He will just force you to, or he'll guide you through the story. And then it's your job to just choose like how do you want to go about doing this? Like it's kind of like a choose your own chapter, right? Mm-hmm. Those chapter books.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like with D&D they have a certain set of rules, and then my friend, he didn't like certain aspect of it, so he wanted to change them around to make it feel less clunky. So in essence, the game is tabletop where you just talk with each other, but the system and everything is he's testing out to make sure that it feels smooth and doesn't stale out throughout the game. Because sometimes there's certain part of the mechanics where it's just like, oh, okay, well, we're rolling way too much and we're just not playing enough. We're not talking enough, and it just loses the fun of things sometimes. So he's just trying to improve on the system, I guess.
So he's just doing like balancing right now, right?
In a way, yeah. It's a balancing, but at the same time, he likes to create his own thing where you can actually make it more customizable. So I guess in terms of trying to think of an analogy, it's like right now it's kind of like a mod, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a mod like a game mod until it's so exciting that it gets to really good that it becomes its own thing. I think it's like that's how Dota happened, right?
Yeah, and that's how Counter-Strike happened.
A StarCraft mod, mm-hmm. and then it became its own entity.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of like Counter-Strike too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you are creating a Counter-Strike to a Half-Life.
Yeah.
Good. You speak in my terms.
Yes.
I'm just like thinking about the scenarios because like it would be kind of funny if you play like some night or something, and mm-hmm. then as you're doing your thing, then your phone rings and you have the ringtone of the Power Ranger thing.
Oh, dude, that'd be so cool.
And then he's gonna be like, and then Zordon has called you.
Yeah, no, it definitely can. It like a lot of people, like really good DMs, they play on what just happened. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like it's kind of like what we do as kids back then, right? Like we didn't really have a lot of access to the internet, mm-hmm. and we were forced to go outside.
I mean, I guess.
Or video games, but that was under restriction due to parents. But
yes,
but for the most part, we had to use like imagination, right? And then just going about and doing things and just making it fun for us. So I think I'm enjoying those aspects more. It's a little bit more time consuming than most games. So mm-hmm. I'm sure if you have time, it will be really fun.
Yeah. It's one of those things, right? Like it sounds so interesting. It sounds really fun. The thing with me is that, well, first of all, time, right?
Right.
And you know me with like a lot of the stuff I do, like I don't really have too much time.
And that's why I can't really offer you to play.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want...
Well, I mean, the other thing about it though is, there's not really a group of people that I think would play it like that I know of, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, maybe Hung, but I mean, can you imagine our other friend Steve playing it?
Oh yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
it's like hard to even find a group like that.
It's true.
Yeah, so even though it's fun, it's a very particular group that would play that, and I don't know people around here that would be like that. So
That's true. Yeah, I think it definitely depends on the group as well. You're right. I think it's also really good if we have like an X amount of people. So let's say like 3 or 4 people, right? And it will be a nice intro for people because they normally in regular D&D you run like a whole system that takes a while. Like some people play for months, years, decades.
decades.
But yeah. But some people they just do like a one shot essentially, where it's just you meet up and you do a quick session ranging from 2 to 6 hours, depending on how much time you have.
Man, that's a quick session.
That's a quick session. Because it's at the same time, it's not like it will depend on the person running the game, right? They can make it last. They can, if they're really good, they can make the time pass by really fast. But if they're not, they can make it feel really dragging. Like he's like, oh my god, is this game over yet? I'm still here. I don't want to do this anymore.
So it's like kind of like Avengers versus Justice League.
Yeah. I assume we'll get into that later.
Yes.
But in a sense, yeah, it's just some people like if let's say you have like only have like 2 hours, right? Because I think at times where we meet up and play games together, we play for like hours, like 3 to 4 hours, right? Yeah, and essentially that's about the same time, but it's just one long campaign instead of sitting there. This one just requires thinking and imagination.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because so I get that some people like play games for the whole like journey through it. I've never done that. Well, not never, but I've not done that. I haven't done that a lot. It's for me, it's more about like the quick like wins that you feel, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know how that works with D&D.
It's okay. So it could work where it's kind of like you have different encounters. Encounters meaning something happened. It could be, let's say you're in a dungeon, right, or like a cavern of some sort, and you could one encounter is you go through something and you set up a trap or like a booby trap area, and and through that you're like, okay, yeah, then I just finished one section where I finished this trap. Or like I finished this trap section, and then you run into like a mob of monsters, and then that's another encounter where you're just like, okay, well, I just defeated this a mob of five like goblins or something, right? So it's like, oh yeah, so the quick satisfaction could range where like I could just give you like, oh, you run into this puzzle on the wall. It has this shape, this shape, this shape. And then once you solve it, it's like, oh, that's a quick satisfaction, right?
Yeah.
That you're talking about. But overall, there's a whole bunch of quick satisfaction in a long overarching journey, I guess. So let's say like, it's kind of like a movie, essentially, right? I guess in games, it's more like checkpoints, right?
Yeah.
If you go first, there's like a mini boss. It's like, yeah, I beat this mini boss. And then there's like this little puzzle room. And it's like, oh yeah, I beat this puzzle room. And then you go into another mini boss, and then it's like, okay. And then you fight the boss. And overall, you have like, I guess like a essence of like four quick encounters or like of satisfaction, right? In that sense. I don't know if that works for you.
I don't know until like actually play that. So
sure, yeah. So it's just like a matter of how people run. The only thing I know that can lead people away from it is that sometimes when you go into D&D, it's just very overwhelming because there's a lot to do preparation wise for just like the player coming in. Like there's a lot of like, let's say, there's a lot of spells, or there's a lot of things to go into character creation. What I found it best was that when I first ran my first one, there were some people who never really played D&D. So I try to make it very minimalistic for them, where they just need to and basically just figure out what kind of character they want to be. And I'll more or less give them like a sheet of what they could choose from in terms of like abilities, and just saying like, okay, now that you're this, you can do this and this and this. But if you want that range, you can always refer to the whole guidebook. But it definitely can take a while, or it could be daunting, just because like before you start the game, it's kind of like that thing we had. Was it last week? The topic about character customization. Oh yeah, it's essentially that, right? It's how much do you want to go into creating your character. I'm not talking about like just cosmetically. I'm talking about like background. Like, do you want this ability? Do you want to go into these type of stats? Do you want to go like this certain build, or do you want to just be thrown into it and you just go along with it? You know. So it's essentially that. And with D&D, it's very flexible. Depending on the person running it, they can make it very flexible for you, where you want to start. Okay, here are some characters. We only choose some from them, and then we'll just start the game. Or it's just like, okay, well, I want to be a little bit more invested in my characters, so give me some traits, and I'll just go from there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Just I guess I got to figure out when. Not figure out when, but figure out who I would be playing this with.
All right. Well, I'll be back during December. We could play one. I'll figure something out. How to.
Oh wait, when are you back?
Sometime next month.
That's a huge range. Are you going to be?
But probably sometime before Christmas. Probably a week before Christmas or something.
Oh, okay. So you're probably going to miss the Christmas party, huh?
Maybe. I might be there. We'll see.
You might be. That is the weekend before Christmas.
Yeah, I might be there.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So if you have time and you want to actually try it out, I can try to figure out something really quick, and then whoever wants to do it, I'll try to figure something out as well. It's just a matter of them. They might be bored. They might not. Hopefully they won't.
I'm wondering if Lamb's going to be back in town too.
Oh yeah. We could actually just do a quick session between us two as a recording if you want.
Yeah, just do like a podcast of it.
6
episode.
hours later, we lost all our listeners.
Yeah, people could just skip that episode, so. Okay, let's move on to the news. All right, so the movie Justice League didn't really have a good review from people, and there was like a lot of Zack Snyder fans that were like saying Joss Whedon ruined the movie, and they're like trying to sign. There is a petition going on to sign on that they want to see Zack Snyder's director's cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then some guy from that was working on the movie, he did a AMA on Reddit, and someone asked him about that. And he said that Zack Snyder left the movie midway through, or not midway through, but there was a lot of reshoots.
Yeah.
So a Zack Snyder cut does not exist. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think about like director's cuts, and especially in the DC movies? I don't know if you know, but Batman v Superman had an extended DVD cut, and then like Wonder Woman, I think, had an extended cut. I don't know about Wonder Woman, but Suicide Squad had an extended cut too.
Huh? No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's all.
Oh, I was going to ask, like, was it anything good to the extended thing?
I watched Batman v Superman normal cut in the theater, and then everyone was saying like the DC fans were saying that that the extended cut made it a lot better. And when I watched it, it didn't really make it that much better. It just it explained why things were being done, but that doesn't fix the movie being better.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah. I mean, if Zack Snyder, when he made Batman v Superman, didn't do as many of those like slow-mo cuts, it would have been shorter. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, and also, minor spoiler, but not really, about Justice League. In the beginning, there was a, you know how like they kind of go through the different scenes in the movie and then they have like the credits come in?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a part of it where the camera just panned to this homeless guy on the street, and then he held up a sign. He was holding a sign that said, "I tried." Like, you know, those like ask for money signs?
Yeah.
So, but he was homeless and he put up a sign that said, "I tried." And then when that scene showed up, it showed Joss Whedon's name, like as the screenwriter or something like that.
Oh.
So, so some people were speculating that Joss Whedon edited that on purpose to say to say that he tried to make this movie good.
So subtle.
Yeah. Or people could be putting too much meaning into it, but I mean, it works out, right?
Now we just need an AMA with Joss Whedon about that, and we'll see.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but for me, I director's extended cuts are kind of like whatever for me. Like it's cool if it's actually adds to the story, but for the most part, I don't think it really does, right? Because normally they would cut out things that to just the excess fat.
Yeah, to make it streamlined.
Yeah.
But then there's also movies, from what I heard, there's like, I think over 20 cuts of Blade Runner.
Oh, God.
And then each time you watch one, it's like a different story.
Oh, wow. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Like, it makes you think of the movie in a different way.
Oh, okay. That's cool. But yeah, if it's just going to be like, because I think for the most part, a lot of movies are like 2 hours-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
90 minutes to 2 hours.
I feel like a lot of movies now are just bordering like 2 to 3 around 2 to 3 hours. And with extended cuts, I'm like, no, that was me in Lord of the Rings extended version. Like, no, why is it 4 hours?
Batman v Superman was 2.5 theatric, I think, and then extended was 3 hours.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it is what, like, so 3 hours. What's 24 divided by 3? 8. So it's 1/8 of your day.
Sometimes it's just like a lot of movies. I feel it's not even worth it sometimes, because it's like, man, I don't want to rewatch all. If it's like a bad movie, right? Then he's like, I don't want to rewatch all of this just to find out if there's something good.
Yeah,
I already saw like a lot of like 2/3 of it at least.
Yeah, you know what? When people tell me like, oh, like don't listen to reviews, watch it and form your own opinion. I'm like, yeah, I can, but I don't have time. So I wanna like make sure my time is being used for a movie that is good. You know?
Peer pressure me, influence me, tell me what is worth it.
Yeah. Cause it's like, I'm not gonna be like, okay, I'll form my own opinion and then like, I'll be late on doing some project, you know?
Yeah.
Cause I gotta watch it because no one will tell me if it's good or not.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it just happened like that because like a lot of movies now are just getting really long, and you don't have that much time anymore, right? Before, like back then, like movies were around like an hour and a half max. That's like the long movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but now it's like 2 hours average. Sometimes you get 2.5, but you know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. A lot of things happen so much, and now it's just like really long and dragging. It's just, unless it's a really good movie, you're gonna feel like it's dragging on, and you can't sustain it. The attention span.
I think Captain America, either the Civil War or Winter Soldier, one of them had like a 2 hour running, and it didn't feel like it was 2 hours at all.
Oh yeah, because it's good. Yeah, if it's done well, then yeah, it's amazing. But if it's done horribly, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
How long has it been? It's only been 10 minutes.
I know. So crazy. Let's see. So the next news item is, you know, the TV shows like The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow?
Yep.
They just had a 4-show crossover.
I remember seeing the trailer for that. It looks actually interesting.
I'm wondering if you even saw the filming because it's in Vancouver.
No, I didn't. I thought like the Flash and the Arrow, they're normally in Vancouver. I saw Supergirl once.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was going to the library and then they were closing it off and they for filming. And then I was just sitting around my coworker and I was just sitting around from it. And it's just like, oh, okay. We'll see what movie, what show they're filming. And then later on, like, they were just filming Supergirl flying for a bit, or like a stunt double.
Oh, okay.
And they were just waiting for the rest of the people to leave so they could actually shoot more things.
Oh, okay.
For the library to actually close.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's cool.
There's a lot of filming in Vancouver, a lot of places to film in Vancouver. I remember walking out of work one day and I saw like police cars like parked outside. I was like, oh no, what's going on? And I was like, oh wait, they're filming. They're not real police. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're probably like filming The Flash because there's a lot of police on The Flash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, the crossover is really good. So they didn't even like, you know how like sometimes crossovers are like, oh, on this episode of Supergirl, and then it intros the show of Supergirl and then plays the episode. Then on the next episode, this is the episode of Flash, intro Flash, and then it plays it. They didn't do that. So all 4 episodes introed with like the name of like the whole crossover. The crossover is called, the crossover was called, Crisis on Earth, was it Infinite Crisis on Earth X? And it was, every time the show started, it just introed that it was Infinite Crisis on Earth X. It didn't mention which show or time slot that was. So that was pretty cool. So the whole thing felt like pretty much a 4-hour movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, broken down to 2 days, but you know, it's 40 minutes an episode. So it's really like 80 minutes plus 80 minutes.
Yeah.
So it is slightly over 2 hours. So it's like a feature length movie.
Yeah.
And they did it so much better than Justice League. Like, so much better.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I kind of want to watch that. And then when I saw Justice League trailer, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. And then, like, it's also because the shows you kind of already know some of the characters, so they don't have to go through background on them.
That's true.
Yeah, and yeah, it's hard to really explain unless you watch it yourself. I know a lot of people dropped off on the shows because they were not getting good viewership, and you know, people were saying that the shows were going downhill. Yeah. I think they're okay now. They're not like amazing, but they got better. So, yeah. That
helped bounce them back, essentially.
Yeah. And just to tell you, I'm not going to say who, but there is a death, like an important death in the episode, like the crossover. And they handled that death so like they did it like in a very emotional way. That you really cared about it.
Nice.
Versus like some of the other movies like Batman v Superman. So it's like, oh, okay then. Yeah. So yeah. I wish like DC got their movie division to like take notes from the TV division.
Yeah, I think I had a talk with my friend one time, and we just talking about how like a lot of movies, what they lack is kind of like a lot of movies are not well done because when they try to build that character for us to care about, they rush the end, or sometimes like or else it'll just be like a movie that does, or like movies that don't have character, it'll just be really stale throughout, right? So and it's kind of like they're trapped in a thing where it's like, well, if we make it any longer to fill everything right, it will be a really long movie, like 3 or 4 hours. And I was saying we were saying how like that's probably like the advantage of having why TV are doing so much better, because it's meant to have the character build up and all the arc and everything, and it's meant to go longer, and you don't feel like it's long because it's like once a week or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, that's cool, and then you're like, yeah, let's just keep going. But for movies, at least nowadays, I feel like there's not a lot of effective or efficient filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, okay, they want to do everything, but they can't, or they get caught up in one thing and then just fall off on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, to an extent, and I think that's why Marvel did so well with their team up movie, because they spent time, like they were very patient to do individual movies for each superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they actually combined them to do Avengers. And that's where DC kind of like, didn't take the right steps because they just try to rush the Justice League as fast as they could.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Like, time that they spend on it is definitely a thing. And I felt like I don't know if it's more of an executive thing or not, or like a certain formula, because they're like, oh, hey, it's a money grab. We just want to get it done. You don't need to make it good, just get it done, and so people watch it, and then there'll be money. Or versus like some movies where they actually take their time and make it right. Mm-hmm. I guess I'll use the example of like Deadpool, because I know for a fact that the director of Deadpool, he was like a director, a CEO of an animation studio, but then that animation studio was founded by artists for artists. Mm-hmm. So the head was essentially an artist himself. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to produce quality that he's proud of, right? Versus like, so when he had he got his hand on Deadpool, I assume that he pretty much didn't want to set a name or he didn't want to fall flat off his own standards, and let like the corporate side of things saying, hey, you just need to get it done and do things and just get things done fast. So I felt like he, by having that flexibility or standing up to certain things, you can definitely make a good film, which just takes more time.
Yeah, and that's how Deadpool was made. Yeah, because there was no creative control. Because like Fox was like, "Oh, okay, do whatever you want."
Yeah,
they didn't do anything, and the same thing happened with Wonder Woman because Patty Jenkins, the director, she wanted to make like the story her own way, and she knew that as a female director, like helming like such a huge film, she wanted to make sure that she could do it her way. Yeah. So that it will be a good movie, because if it's a bad movie, she knows she's going to be setting Hollywood to say women should not be directing or so, Yeah. So, yeah, so she actually left Marvel, cause she was supposed to do Thor 2. And she left because of creative differences.
Gotcha.
So then she got to do Wonder Woman and barely any input from executives from what I heard.
Okay. So. Yeah. I do hope like more directors start standing up for what they believe in and not give into that like executive control, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what makes me look forward to the Aquaman movie, because James Wan is not really getting executive input right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and James Wan is cool. But you know who he is, right?
It sounds familiar. Wasn't he like? Wait.
He's a director.
On that? No.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So,
yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So James Wan he directed Saw, and then he directed one of the Fast and Furious movies, and he got signed on to direct the future Mortal Kombat movie that he'll be working on after Aquaman.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's
that sounds familiar. But
yeah.
Cool.
You had a news item, right?
Yeah. So apparently I read somewhere somebody built a rocket ship in their backyard, but just so that they can launch it, just to prove that the world is flat.
How can you be like a scientist, or not scientist, like an engineer? Huh?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh! How can you be like someone who's like able to create a rocket, but yet not know that the Earth is round?
Yeah, no, like I was trying to remember the quote that he said in there. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Oh, okay. I think I found it. I think I know what you're talking about. He says, "I don't believe in science." Is that the one?
Yeah. Do you have it with you?
Yeah.
Just to read it
I
out.
don't. Yeah, I don't believe in science. I know about aerodynamics and fluid dynamics and how things move through the air, but that's not science. That's just a formula. What the heck?
Yeah. So apparently there are other people with like the flat. I think they're called like the flat Earth or flat world society, right?
What the? There is?
Yeah. So there are people who are who believe the world is flat still, and some of them are actually big celebrities as well.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I forgot who, but I did hear that some big celebrities were saying that.
Yeah. So I remember two of them were like athletes. One of them I think was like Shaq or something, Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh,
And
really?
But then he later came back saying like, "Oh, just kidding." So I don't know if he really was just kidding or if he like heard like retribution from like fans and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I was kidding. That's clearly a joke."
Oh,
So, but then there a few of them are like athletes, a few are actors as well.
uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, there's still people that believe in that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm reading this and it says like he designed, built, and is gonna launch himself in the rocket.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my god, please don't die.
Yeah. Seriously. And then it says he previously did fly his own rocket in 2014.
He did. I saw it. I saw
Oh,
it.
he did?
Scene. Oh, I saw the clip that was on
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says that when he lands, then after he flies this rocket, when he lands, he's gonna announce to run for governor for California.
So I don't know
Okay.
what's happening anymore. That news, I thought like, okay, that no way that's real.
Yeah, I'm like, is this a parody website or?
Yeah. But, yeah, so I don't even know what's going on. I was like, man, this is strange. There's a society that believes the world's still flat.
Yeah.
I wonder what they prove by launching themselves up.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I can fly, and then what? I was like, I see the Earth is flat. Now you have to take my word for it? Like,
But I mean, like, I wonder, they have to fly out a certain amount or to a certain distance to actually see the whole thing. Because otherwise, it was just like, oh yeah, it's still going, so that means flat. It's like, yeah, you're on a plane, you see the everything flat. Of course.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna blow through.
Brain cells that died today.
I'm gonna blow through the next few news items because in the interest of time. Yeah.
Yep.
So Fox and Disney. Before we were talking about like how Disney was talking about purchasing Fox, and they had talks and then they stopped talking, and now it's news that they just started talking again today. Yeah, that's all. And then the movie, the lead of all the movies and stuff at Fox, she was saying like, oh yeah, I'd love to have the X-Men be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, and another related thing is Evangeline Lilly. She's in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She plays the Wasp. She was talking about how the Wasp movie or the Ant-Man Wasp movie will start to introduce the multiverse of Marvel.
Huh.
Yeah. So like it's supposed to introduce that whole idea so that after, Avengers 4 is done and everything, then Marvel has another avenue to go into.
Huh. But Avengers. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Also breaking news for casting, Mulan has found its live action actress.
Is she Asian?
Yes, she is actually Asian. Can you imagine if she was Scarlett Johansson? That would be bad.
Dude, so many things will happen. A lot of riots will happen.
I know. What's it called? So it's going to be actress Liu Yifei, and she's also known as Crystal Liu. She's pretty popular in China. Did you ever...
she's actually Chinese. They got that descendant right as well.
Yeah, from China. So, did you ever watch The Forbidden Kingdom with Jackie Chan and Jet Li?
Yes.
So, remember the Asian girl in there that the white guy falls in love with?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she is the one that's casted.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. She looks just like, how Mulan would be if she was real life. I mean, I know Mulan's real, but I mean, the animated version of Mulan in real life. Yeah. So that's cool. Another thing was Bitcoin hit $11,000 per coin this morning.
And
then, huh?
Would you buy them? How much did you buy yours for at the time? 1,000?
When I bought them, it was 1,000, and then after I bought them, they dropped down to 300 because China announced they were not accepting it.
Yeah.
And this is back in like 2014 or 2015.
Yep.
But I just kept it. So, yeah.
Sweet. Now you have 10,000.
Yeah. Awesome. But today, once it hit that level, then people start selling off a lot, right? Yeah. So it dropped quickly to like 8,600. And then just earlier, like a few hours ago, I checked again, it's back to in mid 10,000s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Or 10,000 something, not mid 10,000, but 10,000 like 300 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few days ago when it hit 9,000, there were so many memes. So many memes about Bitcoin.
Like what?
Like Vegeta.
Oh, 9,000.
Yeah. It's like Bitcoin over 9,000. Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing was today, the Avengers Infinity War trailer got released. What do you think about that?
I think I thought it was pretty cool. I think I was telling you before as well. Like the first thing I thought of when I saw Thanos was like, oh, that looks like Bruce Willis.
I was just imagining you like watching it. I was like, is that Bruce Willis?
Yeah, I was like, wait, why does that look so familiar? Is that really CG?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he looks different because he's not wearing his helmet. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
Thanos is supposed to wear his helmet. Like, it's so weird that he's fighting with like no armor and no helmet.
I was talking to you about how like, oh, you know how like Superman, when he put on the glasses, he's Clark Kent and nobody really notices. Yeah, maybe that's his like disguise when he goes to Earth. I'll take off my helmet now. No one will suspect a thing as I rule the world.
It's like they're all fighting him. It's like, who are we fighting? He puts his helmet on. Oh, it's Thanos. Oh god!
All this time, right? But he does look different though, with and without.
Yeah, did you see the memes that were being posted? There was one I sent you. It was like a comparison of how Thanos looked like in the post-credit of Avengers, and then how he looks like now. And it was like, when you order, the caption was like, when you order something online and then when it came, it was different or something.
But he was a lot bluer in the trailer and everything. Or not
he's purple. He was deeper purple. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's just like a pale pink in this one.
Yeah. Man, and he's played by Josh Brolin?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah. Did you watch Men in Black 3? The one with time travel?
I think so, yeah. I think.
He was the young version of Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that guy, he plays Thanos, and he's also playing Cable in the Deadpool sequel.
Huh.
Yeah. I bet you anything that Deadpool is going to make fun of that.
Oh, yeah. I'm curious to see like when they cross, and he's forced to play in a world of both.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like if like Fox gets purchased by Disney?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I was like, well, luck having the same actor being two roles.
Well, I mean, they had Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers, right? And they both played Sherlock at one point.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's true.
Or they have Chris Evans, and they have what was it? The enemy in Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
And they were both the Human Torch at one point.
Oh.
Before. Yeah. Let's see. I think that's all I have for the news. So we can move on to the topic of the episode.
Topic of the episode.
Okay, so Judge Greg, he suggested we talk about season passes, and Monster Closet suggested we talk about whether video games are better as a service or as like bespoke content that you just purchase and that's it.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you think about like season passes for video games?
The season pass is more like for DLC and everything, right?
Yeah, like the most recent one I could think of is Zelda. Was it Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, where you buy the season pass first for DLC that's coming later, and you don't even know what the DLC. What this one I didn't like about was people would buy the season pass but not know what the heck the DLC was going to be. They just knew that there's going to be DLC, but we're not going to tell you what it is. But you need to buy a season pass to get it.
I think like for the more popular games, like you were saying for I'm trying to remember which ones it were.
Injustice.
What's that?
I think Injustice has a season pass.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot of them like I'm not really a fan of, just because like I don't see the point of it, and the DLC is just so random, and it might be just useless as well. And a lot of the DLC they might take a long time to produce. And you're like, by that time the game isn't even good. You're like, I don't even know if I'm going to play it anymore. But then I did see like I believe like on Steam, like they have like games, the episodic games where it is a season pass where like, okay, I believe the company Telltale Games. Telltale Games. They did stuff like Walking Dead and everything, where it is episodic, and you kind of want to play more because it's like a story mode, right? So I assume that in that sense that is better. But if it's just like DLC where it's just like random content where it could be anything, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there were more like kind of games that would be season pass like Telltale.
Yeah.
But I don't know like what kind of audience would play that, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't know how many audience. So just to bring things into perspective, Telltale Games recently laid off like 25%.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if like it would be nice if the season pass is truly a season pass like that.
Yeah.
But is a season pass enough to pay out the developers?
Right, that's true too.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you. Definitely in sense because like their games aren't that expensive either, so it might be the reason for in terms of like payment and everything. But I felt like in terms of like the bigger games, that is just more of a money grab, right? That's like the microtransaction, but then now it's like, hey, now you buy this as a bundle, and it's just like buy it, spend all your money now and get some more stuff later on, but we'll let you know when that later on is.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I wish season passes were more clear about like the stuff that you get, so you can make like an informed decision.
Yeah.
Like I liked how Mortal Kombat X, they had a season pass you could buy, and they told you exactly what you're gonna get. They told you that you're gonna get these 4 extra characters that are gonna be released this season when they're done with them. And they had enough of information, like they had the model of the character and a little trailer about the character.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you knew exactly what you were getting. But that actually goes on to another thing, which is why didn't they include those characters to begin with?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
And I think that's the thing. It's just like there's so many. The DLC thing, it got to a point where it becomes like a super microtransaction now. Where before, like when I guess like back then, DLC were like, all right, well, we added like new story modes and everything, like actual new content, and then to the game, they were like kind of like an extended version, right? And then now it's more like, well, hey, but now you get more boxes of loots and everything. I'm like, okay, well now you have a character. I was like, now you start off wearing like a red shirt instead of a brown one. Like, what? They're just like useless DLC that just feel like they're just money grabbing. And it's just like at that point, I don't feel it's even worth it because you kind of start to feel like there's a pattern, right? like, okay, well, it's a lot of the games now. There's just like they're not really adding actual extended content. Kind of like I was saying, like with Telltale Games, it's like a actual sequel to the game, right? You're buying part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually want to get the series where it's kind of like a TV where it continues on. This one is just like, hey, buy the game. Now buy the if you buy season pass, you also get a cover and a ribbon. But the ribbon will come later once it's done. We don't know when though. It might not actually be a ribbon.
Yeah.
It might be just a paperclip.
Yeah, or like people who I mean, I don't know if this game is a season pass or not, but that Marvel Heroes game, did you hear about that?
No, I haven't.
It got released on consoles this summer, and then just this past week or so, Disney announced they're shutting down the game.
Oh, wow.
Or Disney announced they were terminating their contract with the developer. So the game is being shut down supposedly later in December, but it's already starting to shut down.
Oh, wow.
So people who had it on the computer, they play it for years, but, well, not years, but they play it longer. But the people who bought it in console, they just bought it in,
Oh.
you know, so I was thinking more of like, it sucks for season passes that, you know, if you buy it and then you never get what you are buying, then you just got screwed over.
I think if it's like a game that you see yourself playing many times down the years, it might not be a bad investment because it's kind of like let's say like League of Legends, right? If they had like a season pass where you eventually get like free stuff every month or something like that, then it's like, yeah, I see myself playing this in 2 years or 3 years. But if it's just like a one-time thing, you just might as well like just wait for it and see if it's even worth it. Because you're just testing out the game.
I think what you're talking about kind of delves in a little bit more to the games as a service.
Okay.
Yeah, because like season passes are kind of like, I think more focused on items that you pay per season. You know, okay. And then like League of Legends. I guess League of Legends would be a bad example of.
It's bad, though. Yeah.
Yeah, games as service, but games as service I think would be something like World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
You're paying like a subscription. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's okay for the games as a service if the game is constantly being worked on and being evolved.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that I feel like doing it that way kind of puts less pressure on making the game perfect when it's launched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we can release a game that's buggy and then we'll just fix it later on, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the example of that was No Man's Sky. I
was going to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, like that day one patch, like really? Like you didn't just wait a few more days to finish the patch and then release it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. So the other question was about service versus, was it just buy once?
Yeah. So, games as a service versus like buying it once and done with it. That's your game.
I like those buying it as a one-time deal more. Just because in terms like of like the game company, right? It's better for them to just have a standard buy.
Okay.
It's like, okay, it's already there. They already spend it, and you have nothing to lose. And the subscription in terms of services like subscription and everything, it's a little bit more of a risk, I guess. Because you're kind of like testing out the waters, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, everybody's liking it. Now we have to keep updating stuff to make people enjoy it throughout the whole years or decades. Whereas we have no other source of revenue. But in terms of like WoW and everything, WoW was a big success, right?
Yeah.
There are other games that tried that approach and didn't do so well and had to become like free to play.
Yeah, that's why we don't hear of them. So
yeah, I think like I believe Hero of New Earth was was paid in the beginning. I forgot if it was subscription or not though. It might not have been, but it became free afterwards since the their competitors was doing better, and it was free as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but so it's a lot of games that it might be cool to just do like one-time thing, because a lot of people like me, I rather just either I'll buy it and I'll just play it once and just get it done with, or I'll just I'll just play free games. I'd rather not pay like a monthly thing, because for me personally, I'd rather spend monthly thing on stuff like bills.
Yes, and food and water.
Yeah.
Yeah, the essentials of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's like it's just how much you want it.
Mm-hmm.
I think for us, for you and me and stuff, like gaming is fun and all, but like we really prioritize a lot of things, other things before that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that also affects how we think about this.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Yeah. I think I actually thought like in the beginning when you were saying services, how like there's some, I think it's like websites where they have like streaming services before video games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I thought they meant that service in the beginning, but subscription makes more sense.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not going to mention names because they're not our sponsors.
But you can be if you sponsor us.
Yes, if you listen to the Super Best Friends video game podcast or video game sleepover, they usually have one of those things that you're talking about as one of their sponsors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So let's move on to the mailbag and community question.
You got mail. You got mail. You got mail.
Let's see, the mailbag community question. We had so Brendan from Almost Better Than Silence, he asked us, why does Sonic have two pupils and one big eye? Let me send you a picture of what he's talking about.
I think I know what he's talking about. How they're all connected, right?
Yeah, and it's a very disturbing picture.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll see it.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you for introducing this into our nightmares, Brendan. What do you think?
Well, first off, I didn't get like why does it merge in the middle? The pupil in the middle. Why does it merge? Yeah,
So
I understand.
Yeah, he's just saying that blue thing between his eyes.
Oh yeah. No, I totally understand that. But I'm like, why does it have to merge? Why can't it just be like two pupil in one big eye? That would be kind of cool.
Well, it is two pupils in one big eye. So
I know, but
you mean why the first picture?
This one is like a blob.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Metroid.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just wants us to have nightmares.
So what was the question? Why does he have it?
Well, yeah, why?
Because the reason he keeps it down most time is just so that he has an explanation to explain to society. And just a reason. So no one really knows until you uncovered the fact just now. So you actually revealed to the world his true identity. Now,
and this is probably how people feel when they see Superman with and without glasses.
Are you Sonic? Are you Superman?
Yeah, because he looks so different when it's uncovered.
or Thanos and with and without the helmet.
Yeah. Huh.
This is his helmet, guys.
Yes. Oh gosh, that's so scary. Okay, so last week our listener question was, when is it too far for a criminal-led video game? So John Layola from the One Track Gamers and One Track Punk Show, he co-hosts One Track Gamers with Amanda and Corey from Track 2 Gamers. So he says, I think when you're killing innocent lives or beating on animals, it's at that point. And then he says, this scene was pretty harsh. And he shows me a clip I remember about this game. This game was a first-person shooter where you play as terrorists, and you basically shoot up an airport. Like, it's pretty crazy. I remember when this scene was released to the public, everybody was like up in arms about it, and rightfully so. Like it is just, I can't even describe it. You know, was
this after like 9/11?
Oh yeah, this is a more recent game. Like the graphics are still pretty good.
Okay.
It's more of like, what the hell were the developers thinking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's recent then, yeah.
Yeah, like the whole developer group is like, what the hell? Like, did this not go through a check and balance? Did nobody say no to this?
Yeah.
You know, like, what the heck? But yeah. Let me see. And then we have Anthony from the Video Game Crosstalk podcast. He says, this is a long message. Typically, a criminal-led game still maintains a moral compass, trying to do good while avoiding the overtly evil or sadistic, perhaps too deep in the system to make a clean breakaway. A game would go too far if the moral compass was removed, like performing evil as a necessary evil or by serving a higher goal. When the evil act is celebrated good, that's when we lose our way. And it also depends on context or a non-playable character reaction. Like if the evil act is applauded rather than condemned by those close to the protagonist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Then they also have some influence mentally, I believe.
Yeah. Totally agree. That was a really long answer, but that was good. You have a question? Yeah, very well explained. Do you have a question for this week?
Was that all? The answers? Okay.
Yeah. We only had 2 answers this week. Also because I messed up the way our Twitter sends out the question.
Oh.
So not many people saw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. If the world was another shape than round, what would you imagine it to be?
What the heck?
Flat is not a shape, by the way.
Shape.
Like a 3D shape, I would say. Well, I mean, I guess you could do 2D, but I assume 3D would be more logical.
Shape. Now I'm just thinking of that Backstreet Boys song, Shape of My Heart.
Shape of My Heart. So imagine it's just a heart.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be bad. It's like, actually, would that be bad if it's a heart? Are you talking about real heart shape, or are you talking about?
I'm thinking like iconic heart shape.
Ah.
Well, I mean, you could say like it's. I guess it's just an oval then, right?
Yeah, with like weird veins and stuff.
Those are mountains, Tony.
Oh yeah. Well, if it's the iconic heart, then you have one whole section of the earth that is just like a valley you can lay in.
I'm just thinking like, okay, well, if the guy was trying to explain it as being flat, the only reasonable shape would be either square or rectangle, right? Or was it a rectangular pyramid?
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, oh, well, I'm just imagining like what happens if like you go around the world like sailing wise, and it's like a 90-degree
oh gosh
change. I'm like, but you're still going. It's just fine.
That is true because
right? You're like, oh my god, I'm going upstream. It's like no.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, that'd be kind of weird. I wonder what the transition will be like.
It would be weirder if the world was like shaped like a plate, like a dinner plate.
Oh, what the? It's just flat. Oh, like semi-flat.
Yeah, but then you go off one edge to the other side.
Yeah,
that would be even more like more than 180 degrees.
Yeah, you're right. Oh man, I wonder how like. I'm curious, like if they were to fly, right? Can they make such a sharp turn? Is that, or is it just like it's not that wide, right? Because the world's pretty big, I guess.
Well, because the world's round. I mean that's why.
I mean, but if it's flat, then like orbitally, like the gravitation will work differently, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the gravitation will work that way.
Yeah. As a plate shape.
Wait, I thought the gravitational pull is stronger when it's closer to the center, right?
Yeah.
So then that means the corners would be the furthest points away from the center.
Yeah. You lose more gravity. So that's
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, would you drift out of orbit?
I mean, there's probably enough gravity to keep you on the Earth, but
Yeah.
then you'd
It would just be a really wide turn eventually.
you will probably weigh differently if you're like at the corners
That's
because
true too.
the scales will not be calibrated correctly.
So I guess like let's go with your thing of like the Earth, right? Or Earth being like plate shape, then, right?
Uh huh.
Where would North America be? Would it be on the edge, or would it be in the middle, or how would you imagine it to be?
I mean, Americans always think they're the center of everything, right?
Oh, that's true.
They're gonna think that they're in the middle.
Okay. So wait, so would that mean like Europe be on the literally the opposite side then, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
The edge would just be like water. That's boring. I was hoping there's like a country on the edge. I'm curious to see how that would be like.
It'll probably be Australia. They're like down under and on the edge.
Australia and Hawaii.
Yeah. Wait, so I'm just thinking
no.
about the rocket guy. Like, how is he going to prove that it's
Yeah.
flat? Is it based on that he doesn't come back because he's away from our orbit? Like,
Yeah, he really can't unless he literally fly out of space,
yeah,
out of the atmosphere itself.
yeah. Huh.
Well,
Okay.
But that's the question. What shape do you think the world would be like if it was
Okay.
not round?
Yes. All right. I'll be tweeting that out so you guys can just let us know your answer. All right. Game time. So for game time, I didn't really prep anything. So I was just gonna do a 20 question, but we'll only do one round.
Okay.
So do you want to do a 20 question like video game or movie or what?
One round, one for me, one for you, or is it like just you or me?
Just you or me.
Okay. If it is me, I would prefer video games.
Okay. So do you want to guess then?
Sure.
Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, sure. I'll do
Okay. Okay. Let me think about the video game. It's kind of tough because like I don't really know exactly what games you've
that.
played,
Okay, then we can do movies. I'll figure it out.
but I also don't know exactly what movies you watched.
I don't watch a lot of movies. That's what makes it harder.
Okay, so I'm gonna choose this game, but I'm not sure if you
I played it.
played it.
Okay, that's fine.
I know that you know it, but I'm not sure you played it.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is this game in 3D?
I never played this game, so I mean, I would hope so.
Okay. I want my question back.
Wait, hold on.
Go to your Wikipedia.
What the Wikipedia only has the box art.
Oh. Look at the images.
I'm trying to look for would you, and also while you're at it, define what you mean by 3D.
3D models.
3D models.
Like let's say like Quake or
Yeah, it's 3D.
oh, it's 3D.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this? Do you see the character in this model? In this game?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Oh, sorry, the full character. Yeah, full character.
Yeah.
Okay. It's two. Is this a fighting game?
No.
Is this a multiplayer game?
No.
Okay, single player, 3D. So no Super Nintendo stuff. Wait, yeah, Super Nintendo. Oh. Okay. Is this game on the PlayStation?
Define what you mean by PlayStation.
Oh, as in the what model?
Yeah.
PlayStation 2.
Nope.
Okay. This game that I know of, is the character iconic?
No.
Huh. That was a bad question to ask. So it's not a fighting game. It's not a player game. Random, not iconic character. Okay. Is this game on the PC?
It was released on PC.
Okay, so there's other options as well.
Yeah.
Ports as well. Okay. Let's see. Oh my god, what game can it be? How can I narrow it down? That was like 6 questions? 5?
Oh, 7.
7. Okay. Was this game released after when did the PlayStation came out? Do you know? Or
Which one?
after PlayStation 3?
Was it released after PlayStation 3?
Yes.
Like after the 3 came out or after the life cycle of 3?
Once the game was out. Well, once the PlayStation was out.
Okay, then yes.
Okay. So 3 and 4. Okay. One person game that I know of. One player game.
I'm pretty sure you know this. I'm trying to think, like, would you not know this? I don't know if you played it, but I'm pretty sure you know it.
Okay. Is this an RPG game?
Yes.
RPG game.
Well, yes, it's a type of RPG game.
Okay. Oh, so this might be an. Is the theme pretty? Is it a fantasy world?
That's kind of difficult.
I guess like olden time fantasy, that sort of thing. Nothing like no futuristic stuff. So is it more like, I guess, if I were to say like something along Diablo-ish age, I consider that fantasy.
Okay, I don't think so then.
Okay.
I mean, it has some fantasy elements, but if you're talking about like straight up like Diablo style, it's not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Free hints, yes.
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 But man, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just saying no.
Okay, that's fine. So it's not okay.
That's 10 questions.
That's 10 questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Single player. Let's see. Single player RPG. What RPG? It was on the PC. It's a type of RPG. So I see. Does this game? Do you have a sidekick in this game?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Was there a trailer recently about this game?
Not recently. I mean, define recently. Are you talking about? Are you pretty much asking if this game's already released?
No. Like, it's kind of like a E3 sort of thing, I guess.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm assuming like last year's E3. If they're
No.
Okay. Wait. So the game is not released?
No, the game is released.
Oh.
I never choose like unreleased games.
Oh, okay. It's also on the PC. Full body, so it's not first person. Was this on the PS4?
Yeah.
That's 12. Okay. So PS4. What games are on the PS4? Are monsters involved?
Let me see. I don't know. If there are, it's not very obvious, I guess.
Okay. Is the main character human?
Looks human. Yeah, I think so.
Damn it.
I'm pretty sure. It's human.
Okay. That was 13, 14?
Yeah, I think 13.
13. Okay. So it's PlayStation ending, so it's most likely not Nintendo. Are the graphics pretty realistic? Yeah. So it's not cartoony like Mario, I think. That's what I mean.
I don't think they're realistic. I think I wouldn't call this realistic. It's arguable.
It's stylized-ish then?
Yeah.
Okay. PS4 stylized. So it's an action. You fight things. You beat them up. Do you use a gun?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll ask another question.
Okay.
I hope you can answer this one too. Do you have superpower ability? Okay. I'll wait for that. Does the letter that start? Does the game start with the letter A? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Oh, we're not doing letters.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that.
Well, the two questions you asked me, the reason why I don't know is because it's not obvious.
Based on
like you asked me if there's a gun, and I'm looking at all the artwork and stuff. It's very prominent. The main character doesn't hold a gun,
right?
But I don't know if like in the game if the main character ever does. I almost revealed the gender of the character.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Is the character female?
Yes.
Okay. Wait a minute. Now I don't know anymore.
What?
Wait.
You know?
No, I thought I did, but then like, wait, because you would know if there was a gun. Because I was thinking Tomb Raider, but I was like, wait a minute.
No,
she obviously has a gun.
No, that is obviously.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's not it.
That's 15 questions.
I know. It's a female character. Well, stylized. Oh, it's. You said it's not sci-fi, right?
No, you asked me about fantasy.
Oh.
You didn't ask me about sci-fi.
Okay, is it sci-fi?
I would categorize it more under sci-fi.
Oh, under sci-fi. Okay. Let's see. Wait, that's 16, right? Okay.
Yeah. I feel like people are going to yell at me. Because, like, I might be wrong about certain things, or I might categorize things differently, but, yeah.
PlayStation 4. Well, that was out before that. So, I'm trying to figure out, like, female characters. And you said there's no sidekicks that you see in the game, or images that you know.
I didn't say that. I just didn't know for sure.
Yeah, you couldn't confirm. Yeah, you couldn't confirm.
Yeah,
it was.
I mean, in images, I do see some pictures where she has a sidekick, but I don't know if that's really her sidekick.
Right, it could be just a random NPC.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's an RPG-ish that was released for PC and PlayStation 4. So PlayStation 4 means that it's pretty recent. Oh my god. Female characters. Who are you?
Man, that would really suck if you'd never played this.
It's sci-fi. It's the only one that I'm familiar with. I know Bayonetta. I know Beyond Good and Evil, but that's old. It's not PlayStation 4 yet. There's Tomb Raider, but that's definitely has a gun.
Bayonetta has guns too.
Yeah, Bayonetta definitely has a gun as well. It's like RPG-ish. RPG-ish, that's a girl. And it's stylized. Futuristic. Third person. Who are the girls? Main character's girl.
Remember, I didn't say it was third person. Okay.
So. But it's not a fighting game. You said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the whole character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be either top down, and the character's not iconic, so it definitely can't be Bayonetta or Lara Croft. It has to be a general female character since it's not iconic. Why would so it's not Diablo because that's not sci-fi at all. Who's not an iconic character?
You don't know because they're not iconic.
Yeah, I know. I was like, damn it. That's the worst question to ask. Let's see. Sci-fi mobile. It is some PlayStation 4. Wait, so are you basing them off like the original? I guess I should have to ask, right? If it's the original port or not.
No, I'm just like answering it for all of them because they kind of are in a realistically similar time frame.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know it was like ported again until recently.
I mean, there was a delay, but it's not that significant.
So, oh my god. So it's a game that you haven't played either.
No.
So it's like, okay, so you played Portal.
I haven't, but remember, it's not first person.
Yeah, it's not first person either, so that's what threw me off.
I could tell you that we did talk about this game before.
That's why I was trying to remember, like, what game did we talk about that has a female role? Oh, is this a storytelling type of game?
What do you mean?
But it's kind of. I'm trying to remember what's the name that was suggested. Oh my god!
Are you talking about graphic novel?
Yeah, graphic novel.
No, it's not a graphic novel.
But 3D graphic novel.
That's 17.
Oh god. Okay, it's only 2 games. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a game that was suggested by one of the other podcast hosts that he talks about a lot. I'm just trying to remember the name. Holy moly. Oh, what was it? What was it?
Now I'm trying to think about which podcast host you're talking about.
But I'm trying to remember like the name. I don't remember specifically. Was it Judge Greg? But anyways, what can it be? Oh my god!
Is that your question? Was it Judge Greg?
No, because that does nothing. I don't even remember the game. Wait. Oh my god, what's the name of the game? I might know, but I might just not remember it. Oh.
You can ask more about the game you think it is.
I'm trying to remember, like, because I'm down to 2, so I don't know which one to ask. 3 questions.
You're down to 2.
Oh, down to 2. Okay.
No. You have 3 questions left, but the last. Are you saying you're between 2 games?
Yeah, and then
okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my god.
I actually expected you to be down to 2 games, between 2 games.
Oh my god, you anticipate too much. Well planned.
Wait, the 2 games you're thinking of, are they the same company?
I don't know.
Oh, then they're probably not what I'm thinking of. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh. I'm trying to limit my questions. What's the game called? Oh my god. I think like even if I ask the right questions, I won't even remember the name of the game.
Go ahead. Just look up the name that you think it is.
I don't remember the name. I should look up like well, I mean I can, but I have to look up like through various routes if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I'll start asking questions. There's a single player. Let's see. Oh my god. It's not. I don't think it's a thriller. What is that game called? Oh my god. You play as a female, and it's definitely not iconic. Oh my god, what's that game called?
How about just keep telling me more about the game?
Okay. Well, the 2 games I'm debating between was one where one of them is you play as like a supernatural, or you have like a supernatural friend or something. But then I remember we talked about that having multiplayer, so I'm currently rolling that out. Like you could play as the ghost.
Okay.
The other one, we were talking about like on the somebody was saying on the podcast, like what is that? Oh my god, what was the question about? It was some sort of question, and one of the podcast hosts was saying this person or this game hands down, or this girl from this game hands down. So and I remember me and you talking about it. It was like free to play. And I was like, "Oh, what's this game?" And it was like it was a free game on Steam.
I don't think it was that game.
Oh, damn it. Okay. But you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if it's right.
Okay.
So,
it might not be then.
So you have 3 questions. What do you want to do?
Okay. If you don't even remember if it was suggested by host, then it might not be that game. So PlayStation, blah, blah. Not iconic. What else can I even ask to narrow it down? So it's not a novel. Is this game I've narrowed it down a lot. It says RPG-ish. Is there any huh?
No, I just tell you it's an action RPG.
Okay.
Action role playing, and it's also it's action role playing and turn based strategy.
We talked about this.
We didn't talk about the game itself, but we did talk about the game.
Oh, okay.
Like not in detail.
Is it by the same company that made Bastion?
Yes.
Oh, is it Transistor?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Oh, you got 19 questions.
Nice.
Wait, what clued you in that it was by the same company as Bastion?
It was when you said turn-based, I was like, okay, well that makes more sense, because then I don't know a lot of turn-based game except the games that I actually play.
Oh,
and then that was the only one where I remember it was a female character, and it's not iconic at all. Yeah, and I wasn't sure if like she had sidekicks or not. Yeah, she I forgot. I think she did.
Okay.
It's temporary. It's kind of like you find them and you go. But I don't think...
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then so this is where... that's why I was like really confused. It's like, it's kind of like sci-fi, but then she has a giant sword like fantasy.
Yeah, no, it is sci-fi. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the thing that was... Yeah, that clue man was turn-based. So that definitely gave a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Transistor. And that was because we talked about Bastion.
Yeah.
And then we somehow talked about Transistor.
Yeah. I remember now. Because I did remember we talked about it. I was like, all right. That made sense.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of curious, what was the name of the game that...
The other guy?
the game. I'm like, no. I'll let you know once I find it out. Anyways.
I could probably just do a search on our Twitter. The words hands down. That is like directed to us.
But anyways, yeah. Good job, Tony. Good job.
No, good job with you. You got it.
I like how you like. I've narrowed it down to two. I assume that you narrowed down to 2 games. I'm like, what? And they weren't the 2 games I was thinking of at all.
Yeah, because like I was thinking you would be narrowing it down to Bastion and Transistor.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Yeah.
None of those.
Yep. All right. So let's move on to the final lap. Do you have anything to promote?
I do not.
Okay. So thank you again to all our contributors this week. Thanks to John Layola, Judge Greg, Anthony, The Monster Closet, and Brendan from All's Better Than Silence. You guys can use the NTFTTPod promo code for Loot Crate to get 10% off. You can check out our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our website is ntfttpod.com. We're also part of the Loosely Connected network, so you can check that out, the looselyconnected.com, to connect with more awesome podcasts and content from our buddies. But yeah, do you have anything else?
No, you mentioned everything.
Okay, cool. All right, no time for time travel. Signing off. Herdiger and Warp Speed. See ya.
Bye.
I love Power Glove.
Come with me if you want to live.
I love Power Glove.
No time for time travel.